All right, here we go. Now we're on live. Yo, 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 yo. What's going, guys? Hooping news and updates, man. This is episode 11 of the Hooping News Update Show, man. I'm very excited for this show. I know it's been a few days. I apologize, but I'm on here now. Very excited about this live. I think we're going to have some fun today. There's a lot's been going on around the league. A lot to be excited about. I mean, the Eastern Conference Finals started last night. It was a great game. Yeah, talk about that. We'll talk about some trade rumors. We'll talk about tonight's game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. We'll discuss that. And Hey, what's up, Edwin? Yeah, man. And you know what's crazy about that, Edwin? Like I'm seeing a lot of people blame the refs for Indiana not winning that game, but like Indiana gave that game away. I mean, like I don't want to hear shit about the referees. Like I really don't. I mean, like the refs trust me. Who would you think Adam Silver would rather have the Celtics or the Pacers in the finals? So I understand that, but even with that, Indiana had a chance to win that game and they blew it. So yeah. Oh yeah, he got locked up, Edwin. Drew Holiday clamped him. You know what I mean? Drew Holiday put that defense on him, man. You know what I mean? Um yeah, Drew clamped him for sure. Drew clamped him. I mean, it was Drew Holiday was amazing last night. And again, I'm seeing it. Jalen Brown's getting all the credit for hitting that shot, but on TV today, I didn't really hear that many people give Drew Holiday the credit that he deserves for last night's game. Because Drew Holiday, to me, was our best player last night. So, I mean, I think Drew Holiday won us that game. I really believe that. I don't care what anyone says. I know Jalen hit the shot, but if Drew Holiday didn't play the way he played, the Celtics don't win that game last night. So you got to give a lot of love and respect to Drew Holiday. Stephen A. Smith, bro. The fact that, like, not you, Edwin, but I'm just saying people in general, the fact that people take that guy's opinion seriously, bro. The guy is not a sports analyst, bro. He's an entertainer. You know what I mean? He's an entertainer. That's what Stephen A. Smith is, bro. Dude, do you think Stephen A. Smith like studies basketball like that? Let's just be honest about this. You all think Stephen A. Smith is fucking watching tape, watching every game, like and just watching shit? No, man. Stephen A. Smith is there to be a loudmouth entertainer. That's what he's there for. I mean, he's there to entertain everybody. I mean, now and you know what? He's funny at times. He's hilarious at times. But like, yeah, he you can't when it comes to sports takes, Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. Smith is a casual. Had Tammy's Danny P now had the Celtics win. See, but the Celtics are like the only team in the league that can get punished for winning. I mean, like like these people think the Celtics like have to win every game by 30. I mean, like Indiana is a good team. Okay, the Pacers have had the best offense in the league the whole year. So I'm not, and they guess what? And as an unbiased guy, every time Pacers and Celtics played each other this year, it's always been a really good game. The games were always close. You know what I mean? So the Pacers and the Celtics have had really competitive games this year. I didn't think it'd be a cakewalk. I mean, like, oh, the Celtics are a super team. The Celtics are this, Celtics are that. But Dallas and Minnesota will beat us in the finals. So like, make your mind up. Are we a super team or are we frauds that are going to lose in the finals? What are we? Are we frauds or are we a super team? I mean, like people just can't make their mind up about the Celtics. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, keep on chirping, keep on saying we're this, we're that. You know what I mean? We won 64 games. You know what I mean? And we're 9-2 in these playoffs, by the way. You know what I mean? Like the way I'm seeing some of these people talk, they act like, bro, Edwin, this is what they act like, man. They act like we went to 7 games with Miami and Cleveland. That's what these guys act like. We destroyed Miami in 5. Every game was a blowout besides that game 2 where they shot like 80% from 3. In Cleveland, same thing. Every game was pretty much a blowout against Cleveland. So like, yeah, the Celtics know how to take care of business. Will they drop a game and be frustrating sometimes? Yeah. But you know what they do? They bounce back and they decimate their opponent. You know what I mean? They lock in. I mean, no team's perfect. You're not going to go undefeated in the playoffs. There's no like it's not going to happen. I mean, like the media, they just especially Tatum. Like I feel bad for Tatum, bro. Like the way the media picks on him. Yeah, was Tatum did Tatum have his low points in that game yesterday? Yeah, I was particularly frustrated with some of the shit he was doing early in overtime. But Tatum hit the big shots, man. He did. He got the big and one in overtime. He hit the big 3-pointer. But it's Tatum played bad last night. Bro, Tatum had 36, 10, and 4. You know what I mean? And they're talking about he played bad. If that's a bad game from Tatum, I will gladly take that. Like, dude, give me that bad game. Like Anthony Edwards was like on offense at least. He was good defensively, but offensively, he was horrible against Denver. Oh, Ant-Man is him. He's aura. He's the next face of the league. Blah 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 blah. Tatum has 36 and 10 in a game one, and he closed the game out in overtime. Oh, Tatum played horrible. Oh my god. You see how bad Tatum played? Oh my god, Jalen bailed out Tatum. Like, bro, like Tatum's too humble, bro. Tatum's too humble. Tatum's too nice, man. You know what I mean? Because I listen, man. Like the hatred and scrutiny that guy gets, bro. A lot of it's just not like it's complete utter bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, is he not okay? Tatum does Tatum like scream in people's face and say he's like gonna do this? He's him and like shit like that, like Anthony Edwards does. No, it's Tatum. But like, come on, man. The amount of hate that Tatum gets, I think a lot of it's just unfair. I really do. I think a lot of it's just you can call it jealousy, you can call it envy, you can call it whatever you want, but I think there's some jealousy and that's why everyone just I think they're nitpicking Edwin. That's what I think they're doing, bro. I think it's all nitpicking. They're like, "Oh, well, the Cavaliers were competitive with the Celtics in a couple of them games. Does that mean there's some cracks within the Celtics or oh, the Miami Heat, but let's not even like talk about the fact that Miami Heat shot like 80% from 3 in that game. Oh, but you know, they are the cracks with the Celtics because the Miami Heat won one game in the series. I mean, if you go look throughout the whole playoffs and playoffs history, there's not a lot of sweeps. You know what I mean? There's not. A team usually at least wins one game in every series. You know what I mean? So like I it's just it just drives me nuts, man. It's just the hypocrisy. You know what I mean? Very hypocritical of a lot of people. Like, it drives me nuts, man. It really does. All right, well, okay, and then let me talk about more of this game between Boston and Indiana. I thought the Celtics played sloppy at times. I thought Indiana shot the hell out of the ball. They certainly did. I mean, and Indiana's been doing that all year in the whole playoffs. They had the number one. I think they had the best offense in the league. It was either number one or it was number two. I think. You know what I mean, so I mean, Indiana shot well. I mean, they did. The Celtics played sloppy, but but you're right, bro. Like Edwin, what you said earlier, it's crazy how much hate the Celtics have been getting for winning. So they like, but you know what that tells you? If they would have lost last night, the criticism would have been like 50 times worse than what it was today. And the criticism loud. I mean, it's the criticism is very loud. So I think we'll have to see game two, but I feel fairly confident the Celtics aren't going to play that bad again the rest of the series. I think that was probably the worst game you're going to get from the Celtics in this whole series. We'll see if I'm wrong though, but I feel pretty confident that was the worst the Celtics are going to play the rest of the series. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, let's talk about Dallas and Minnesota tonight because I think so many people and by the way, before I go, I think the Timberwolves win the series. I do. I think Minnesota wins the series. I'm going to say they win in 6. I think the Wolves are better than the Mavericks, but I'm seeing too many people not give the Mavericks a chance. I think the Mavericks got a shot to win this series. I really do. I think the Mavericks. I don't think you can completely rule out the scenario of them winning the series against Minnesota because it's going to be an adjustment for Minnesota. And let me tell you why. Because Dallas's play style is completely different from Minnesota's play style. So I think it might take some time for the Mavericks to get adjusted, or not the Mavericks, the Timberwolves to get adjusted to the Mavericks play style. I mean, because it's pretty different. I mean, especially if Derek Jones Jr. and PJ Washington, those are guys that played huge in that series against the Thunder. If them guys are hitting shots, the Mavericks are a hard team to guard. They are. So, like, I don't think, again, I think Minnesota wins series. I like them. I think they're the better team than Dallas. But I think the Mavericks got a decent shot of winning the series, too. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't just rule out the scenario of Dallas winning the series. But for tonight's game, I think Dallas might win this game tonight, man. Like, I think for tonight, not the series, but tonight, I think Dallas Mavericks might get game 1 because the Mavericks are more rested. I think they're hearing all the noise that Minnesota's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I think Dallas will come out motivated and play hard. I think Luka and Kyrie will have big nights. I mean, for tonight. I'm not saying the series. Let me say that again because I know a lot of people's hearing is they like they hear what they want to hear. You know what I mean? But they don't hear the whole truth. So yeah, I think tonight the Mavericks get the game. I think it'll be a good one. I think it'll be a close game. But I think the Mavs win tonight. Because I think Luke and Kyrie will play good. I think the role players Hardaway, Washington, Jones Jr. I think them guys will hit shots. I think Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford are gonna have to be big on the boards for tonight. And I just like them. They're more rested. I think Minnesota they might get big headed a little bit because they lost. They won Game 7 at Denver, so they might be like feeling themselves a little bit. I think tonight might be like a game where they get humbled a little bit and brought back down to reality just a tad. But yeah, I'm going with I'm rolling with the Mavericks for the upset tonight. I think the Mavericks win tonight. We'll see how well that ages. But yeah, that's my prediction. Let's see here. Well, where y'all at? See, here go YouTube again, not sending out notifications. YouTube. Why can't YouTube just send notifications out, bro? Like, why? I guarantee I have more than 2 people in here if fucking YouTube just sent out notifications. All right, there's some fascinating stuff that I'm gonna read to you guys I'm seeing right here. Um, Draymond Green says he would have been suspended for the rest of the playoffs if he had thrown a heat pack on the floor like Jamal Murray did. I mean, yeah, probably because Draymond has that reputation. I still think Jamal Murray should have been suspended for a game. I mean, the fact that Jamal Murray wasn't suspended for throwing that on the court, I do think that was a little like crazy because he could have seriously injured somebody by doing what he did. But I mean, it is what it is. But Draymond's right. Pacers winning the series. Rock for life, bro. I don't think so. Listen, man. I think that's the worst game the Celtics are going to play the whole series. I mean, and Indiana still lost that game. Just think about that. I don't think the Celtics are playing worse than that. I think that was the worst game you're going to get out of the Celtics for the rest of the series. I mean, in Indiana, are you going to shoot the ball that well again? Okay, but I could counter offer that rock for life. The Celtics are undefeated on the road these playoffs. The Celtics haven't lost a road game these whole playoffs. So, yeah, okay, Indiana is undefeated at home, sure, but the Celtics haven't lost on the road either. Celtics are 4-0. Bro, I don't care rock for life. They're still road games. They're literally still road games though. I mean, like the road games. Indian 6, all right, bro. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think so. But hey, man, but because I think the Celtics, honestly, I think the Celtics are fed up with losing in the conference finals. Indiana just got here. Like Indiana, bro, they're a young team. You know what I mean? Like, they'll have more cracks at this. The Celtics, man, the Celtics been knocking on the door for so many years, man. You know what I mean? Like, I really think they're gonna fucking kick that door down. I really believe it. I think this is the year to kick that door down and get to the finals. You're right, Rock for life. And if they lose, shit, man, I'll be the first one on here to bash them. You know what I mean? I'll criticize them for sure if they lose this series. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you. They have to win. You know what I mean? Like they have to win the series. Is KP coming back this series? Yeah, I think he will, JT. Woj did say by game 4 that Porzingis could come back. I do think Porzingis will be back for the series. So I'm leaning towards yes, JT. I think KP will be back. And I think he could be back for game 3 or game 4. You're right, rock for life. You know what I mean? But like, here's my thing, right? And what you said's not wrong. Tatum played like shit, like for the most part. He did hit some big shots in overtime, but you're right. JB and Holiday were the best players. But why don't people say the same about Anthony Edwards in that game 7? I would tell you right now that I thought Carnfree Towns and Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert and even Nas Reed to a certain degree played better than Anthony Edwards in game 7. But Anthony Edwards got pretty much all the credit for them winning game 7. I mean, for what I've seen, it was all about Anthony Edwards. Well, is Anthony Edwards the new face of the league? Is Anthony Edwards this? Oh my God, Anthony Edwards, is he top 5 now? I mean, that like that. I'm just like tired of like the double standard. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm just like, come on, man. Anthony Edwards shot 6 of 23, I think it was. You're right, rock for life, but still, man, like it's just double standard. It's just the double standard that I don't like. And don't take this the wrong way. Anthony Edwards is a hell of a player. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that Anthony Edwards is definitely that guy, but when Anthony Edwards has a bad game and the Timberwolves win, oh, Ant Man is this. He is aura. He's top 5. He's the next MJ. He's this. He's that. He's this and that. Blah 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 blah. But when Tatum has a 36 and 10 game, oh, Tatum played so bad. Oh my God, you see how bad Tatum played? Or when Tatum has like a 20-point game and the Celtics win by like 25. Oh my God, Tatum's getting carried by his team. Tatum's getting carried. Like, make your fucking mind up. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, man. Like, make your damn mind up. What do I think a front runner is? Here's what I think a front runner is, right? And I think Tyrese Halliburton is one of the biggest front runners in the league, if not the biggest, because Tyrese Halliburton, and I'll use him, he talked so much shit in that New York Indiana series when Indiana was up by had a huge lead. Tyrese Halliburton talked all the shit in the world. He talked all the shit in the world, bro. I mean, he's saying too small, he can't guard me, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then and then the games where they got blown out against the Bucks and against the Knicks, and yet Indiana did win both of them series, did win the series, yes, in both of them rounds. But like, you didn't hear anything from Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton was quiet. Like you can hear like a pin drop. Like he was quiet. I mean, there was none of that going on. That's why I consider a front runner. Yeah, you could talk all the smack in the world, and you could be the biggest trash talker ever when you're up big. You know what I mean? Like anyone could do that. But like when you're struggling, you're losing, or if you're in a tight game, and all of a suddenly you don't hear that. You know what I mean? And it's quiet all of a sudden. Yeah. I mean, like I like Tyrese, but I think Tyrese is a huge front runner. I really believe it. I think a lot of his antics when it comes to front running, I don't know. He's a hell of a player though. He is, but yeah, I don't like it. Oh, Booker's the bro. I'm happy to see Booker, Devin Booker, rock for life. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Booker is a massive front runner. Oh my god, bro. Devin Booker, man. Oh yeah. He talks a lot of shit. He does. Devin Booker talks a lot of shit when he's up big. When he's up in a series and the Suns have a comfortable lead in a game, dude, biggest trash talker ever. But you saw what happened when Denver beat them last year? Quiet. When Minnesota swept them up out of the playoffs? Quiet. Whenever they lost to the Bucks in the finals? Quiet. Whenever the Mavericks beat him by 50 in that game 7 on his home court? Quiet. You know what I mean? Devin Booker is such a front runner. I do agree with that. I I'm happy he said that name. You know what I mean? And a guy that I think could be a front runner too, Jimmy Butler. Because Jimmy Butler, when his team's getting like their ass kicked, he don't talk. But when they're winning, right? Again, when they're winning, he Jimmy Butler's one of the biggest shit talkers in the world. I think you could say Jimmy Butler's a front runner. I think you could say, oh, I don't know, man. Draymond Green kicks people in the nuts regardless if he's winning or losing. So I guess you could say Draymond keeps the same energy all the time. What's going on, Legend Z? What's up, man? How you doing? But yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of front runners in the NBA. I know. Legend Z, you see what they're doing though, right? You see what they're doing. They ain't sending no notifications out. No, you see what they're doing. They did this shit the last stream too, and then all of a sudden that's when it glitched, and then they're like, "Oh, all these people coming in, all these likes." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Yeah, I seen that. Appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, Legend Z, we were talking about front runners, and Legend Z, let me ask you since you just popped in here, who do you think is the biggest front runner in the NBA, or at least give me your top 5 biggest front runners in the league. I do. I want to hear that. What I think about the Jokic clip with the way that was funny. I enjoyed that, Legend Z. That was good. That was good. But yeah, man, there's a lot of front runners. Um, I I just like guys that keep the same energy when they win or lose. I mean, like, okay, you win, you talk a lot, fine. But when you lose and you still talk, I can respect that because at least you're at least keeping the same energy and like not just not a guy that talks when your team's up by 30. I mean, that I hate that. That drives me nuts. I'm like, man, you're not that guy. Like, really, you're gonna talk and talk and talk when you're not that guy. I mean, like, it's corny. It's really corny. Jamal Murray too, yeah, man. Jamal Murray does all this shit talking too, bro. You know what I mean he talks so much shit. You know what I mean Jamal Murray was horrible these playoffs and skipping interviews and shit, man. Dylan Brooks too, man. But you know what, Dylan? Hey, man, I will say about Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, even though they got their ass kicked by the Lakers, Dylan Brooks still trash talk LeBron. I can respect that. Even when you're getting your ass kicked and you're losing, you could still talk shit. You know what I mean? Like he didn't like just say, "Oh, after beating LeBron, oh man, I locked up LeBron." He's saying, "Nah, man. Even when we lose, I still feel like I can play great defense on LeBron." Now, is Dylan Brooks delusional? Yeah, he's delusional. But I wouldn't consider Dylan Brooks a front runner because he at least because my definition of front running is not keep is not keeping the same energy, win or lose. That's my definition for a front runner. You know what I mean? Being like, okay, you talk smack when you lose, and you talk smack when you win. I could respect that. Can it be irritating, annoying a lot of times? Yes. But s- Rock for life, I disagree with Kyrie. I don't really see Kyrie talk too much trash though. I honestly, I when I watch these games, I really don't see Kyrie talking to the other team. I mean, I don't see Kyrie trash talking a lot. You said Kyrie was only talking with OKC fans when they were up. I mean, like, I really don't know like the context behind that or like the story, but like, I don't know if I don't know if Kyrie's a front runner, bro. I mean, I wouldn't consider him a front runner, but I don't know enough about what happened with him and the fans. I mean, like, I got to do research on that and look into that, but I I wouldn't really consider Kyrie a front runner, but him and Westbrook are known as like the guys that do talk the most to fans. I will say that. And Westbrook, another guy, that's another front runner. Russell Westbrook is a front runner too. But yeah, I gotta look more into that. But from what I see, like on the court, I don't see trash talk from Kyrie. Didn't Lucas say that they talk bad about his fam? Legacy, I don't know. Like I don't know enough about the situation. You know what I mean, like I gotta look into it and shit. You know what I mean, like I can't. I just don't know. You know what I mean, like I didn't see that. So I'll go back and look at it and you know. But if they did talk about his family, bro, if I was Lucas' teammate, I would talk too. You know what I mean? Like come on, man. Like really, bro? Because a lot of fans think they can say whatever they want when they buy a ticket. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of fans do talk crazy. Jalen Green talks too much. Jalen Green. I mean, yeah, man. Lamelo, bro. Like, see, if that was any other citizen, he would have his that license would be like getting taken away. You know what I mean? Like Lamelo, uh, running those red lights and shit, man. You know what I mean? The Hornets, bro. Like they've been in the Hornets organization's been toilet for how many years now? Like it's bad, man. I mean, like it's horrible. Like there's no accountability. See, here's the problem with that. There's no accountability in that organization. There's zero accountability. Zero. It starts with Michael Jordan. And I know Michael Jordan sold some of the Hornets, but Michael Jordan, for as great as he was as a basketball player, I think he's the greatest player to ever play basketball. But he's like probably the worst owner to ever own an NBA team, or at least he's one of them. I mean, and I'm not counting Donald Sterling. I mean, let's just say that Donald Sterling is on a tier of his own when it comes to being horrible. But besides Donald Sterling, I would say that Michael Jordan is probably the worst owner in the NBA. I mean, because have the Legend Z, have the Hornets even made the playoffs once in Jordan's tender? Like as Jordan is the owner, have the Hornets even made the playoffs? Like I'm dead serious too. You know what I mean? Like I ain't even me being sarcastic. I legitimately don't know if they even made the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like the Hornets, bro. Sometimes I forget the Hornets even exist. You know what I mean? Like that's how irrelevant they are. At least the Detroit Pistons. I know they haven't been good in years, but at least the Pistons, you remember them for winning championships. You know what I mean? But like back in the 2004s and the 1990s and the 1980s. At least you remember them for winning championships. The Hornets, they haven't done jack shit. In 2016 against Miami with Jeremy Lin. So what? 8 years ago? Eight freaking years ago. Yeah, man. And MJ is not a good owner. He's not a good owner of a team. Yeah. PJ Washington to child support. Yeah. Yeah. He's been paying child support for a minute, I think. I believe he's been paying child support for a long time. Kevin, yeah. I feel bad for Kemba Ledenzi. I mean, like, I was so excited when we signed him, bro. I was like, yes, Kemba Walker. I mean, that's not a bad replacement for Kyrie. You know what I mean? And his knee injury. Ledenzi, that knee injury he had really suffered. That knee injury destroyed his career. All right, good evening. All right. NBA J at NBA UK has a question. Okay, good evening, my friend. Thanks for the show. Quick question. If the Wolves win it all, will that affect the long sale of the franchise? Show a championship will up the value. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely, NBA J. It'll definitely bring up the value for the Timberwolves for sure. That's a great question. I'm happy you asked that. Hell yeah, man. That'll impact the sale of the Timberwolves because I think it's Glenn Taylor. I think that's his name. If I'm Glenn Taylor, I'm like, shit, man. I mean, like, because a championship can really freaking bring a team's value up like this. So if I'm Glenn Taylor, I want like another billion. Fuck yeah! I mean, instead of let let's just say the price. I don't know the exact number that they agreed on, but like, if I'm Glenn Taylor, I'm asking for way more than what the sale is right now. I mean, from A Rod and that other guy, and if it ain't A Rod, fine. I mean, but like hell yeah, that brings up the franchise's value significantly if you win a championship, especially if you have Anthony Edwards too, and they're already promoting and hyping up Anthony Edwards to be the face of the league. Like you got him, and then you win a championship. Oh my god, bro, the value of the value of that franchise goes up significantly. I mean, like it's not even funny how much more valuable that franchise is if you win a championship. Plus, kind of like Golden State, you have stuff like the Warriors had Steph Curry. Now they got Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean, so hell yeah, man, that brings up the value significantly. I do want to read you guys something though. The Ringer, something that a site that Bill Simmons owns. They came out with a list. I'm gonna okay. So this is top 10 guys like under the age of 25 and under. So these are the top 10, and and I'm gonna read this list to you guys, and I want you guys to let me know if you agree or disagree with this list. Okay. So let's go 10 to 1. We'll do that. We'll go 10 to 1. Okay. Zion Williamson / Ja Morant. That's number 10. So instead of having Zion and Morant in their own separate thing, they got them each slashed at 10. Okay. Paolo Banchero at 9. Jalen Williams at 8. Chet Holmgren at 7. Tyrese Maxey at 6. Tyrese Halliburton at 5. Luka at 4. SGA at 3. Anthony Edwards at 2. And Wembanyama at 1. See, I'm already noticing something that's wrong with this list. I get it, guys. Ja has his problems, and Zion's always injured. But I would take Ja and Zion over Jalen Williams and Paolo Banchero. I'm sorry. I've seen Ja Morant lead his team to the second round of the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking Ja Morant over. I'm taking him. Shit. I'm taking a fully healthy Ja Morant over Paolo Banchero, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Tyrese Maxey. And I might even take him over Tyrese Halliburton, too. You know what I mean? That's how highly I think of Ja Morant. You know what I mean? I'm taking Ja Morant over a lot of these guys on this list. And then he got Luka at 4. I think Luka's better than SGA. I think Luka's a better overall player than SGA. So I disagree with that too. And then Wemby at 1. Listen, I love Wemby, but I would have Anthony Edwards at 1. Why? Because Anthony Edwards led his team to the conference finals. And I know Wemby has only been in the league for 1 year, but still. I'm just saying, though. I think there's a lot wrong with this list. I really do. I think there's a lot wrong with this list right now. I think this list is horrible. This list is terrible. So Zion injury prone. So all right, guys, let me get this straight. You're telling me that Jalen Williams is a better player than Ja Morant. You're telling me that Jalen Williams is a better player than Zion Williamson. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me right now with this list. And listen, man, Jalen Williams is a great player. He's good. I really like him. I like Jalen Williams. He has a bright future. He's gonna be a multi-time All Star. But Jalen Williams better than Ja Morant and Zion Williamson? Really? I don't think so. That's my first problem with this list. Williams more clutch. Not over Ja Morant. I think you guys forgot how good Ja Morant was before all the shit that happened with him. I really think you guys forgot how good Ja Morant was. I mean, I think the Ringer forgot too how good Ja Morant is. Having him at 10. What? I'm not sure there's 10 players in the league better than a fully healthy Ja Morant, to be honest with you guys. And this is just like the under 25 and under list. So, Maxey over Ja. I'll tell you this right now, Rock for life. Fully healthy Ja. The Sixers destroyed the Knicks. If you put a fully healthy Ja Morant with Embiid, they flamed the Knicks, bro. No, man. No. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing Tyrese Maxey over Ja Morant, bro. Tyrese Maxey's a great player, but he ain't better than Ja Morant. I'm sorry, he's not better than Ja Morant. And I don't even think Tyrese Halliburton's better than Ja Morant either. I mean, I think the Ja Morant disrespect is out of control. That's what I think. That's wild. There's no way now I'm taking Tyrese Maxey over Ja Morant. There's no way. I'm not doing that. Ja was injured plus suspended, and I think if he was healthy and that Memphis team was healthy, I think they probably could have got to the Western Conference Finals this year because the Grizzlies got a really good roster. They were just really injured this year. The Grizzlies were fully healthy. I guarantee they probably give Dallas, Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota. I guarantee they give them teams a run for their money. I guarantee they would. You know what I mean? The Grizzlies just need to make a couple tweaks to their roster, and they're going to be a contender. But like the Tyrese Maxey, good player. I respect him. He's had some great moments this year, but he's not better. He's not better. I Rock for life. I totally agree with you. I agree with you. With the shit that Ja Morant did was stupidity. I agree with you. He is the leader. It was his fault. But I'm talking about talent and who's the overall better player. Ja Morant is a better overall player than Tyrese Maxey. Period. He is. He's a better overall player than Tyrese Maxey. That's just facts. Like I don't like bro, I'm telling you, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You guys are gonna see next year. You guys are gonna see. You guys will see. Ja Morant will be back next year with a vengeance for sure, and he's gonna remind a lot of people of how good he is. You guys will see. It's all good. It's all right. You guys will see. And I like Tyrese Maxey. I've said that like 1,000 times already, but he ain't better than Ja Morant. And then guess what? And then the real debate I'm seeing here is Luka or SGA. Who do y'all think is better? Luka or SGA? I think that's an intriguing debate right now because I've been seeing that all over social media. Because I think it's close between Luka and SGA. I think SGA's game is smooth, but I think Luka's a better overall player because Luka last 2 times in the playoffs. And you could say, and I'll tell you right now, Oklahoma City, Dallas. When you look at Dallas and Oklahoma City's roster, Oklahoma City had a way better roster than Dallas. You know what I mean? I'll just tell you that right now. Because you look down the line, okay, Luka, okay, you could say he's the best player. I think a lot of people say that SGA is better than Kyrie. Do I think that? I mean, probably, but that I think that's like the wide known like thing. Okay, so SGA is second best player in that series. Third best player would be Kyrie. And you go down the line. Jalen Williams, fourth best. Chet Holmgren, fifth. You know what I mean? They got some other players on that team. Lou Dort. You know what I mean? Like, you could say Oklahoma City had a way better team than Dallas. And Dallas beat them. Why? Because they had the best player. They had the best player in the series, Luka. And yeah, you could tell me, oh, PJ hit shots, and Derek Jones Jr. he hit shots, and Kyrie played well defensively. You could tell me all that. You could tell me that until you're blue in the face. But when it came down to it, Luka played better than SGA did. Period. So I'd take Luka. I think Luka's slightly better than SGA. I think it's NBA J. I mean, some of that's true what you said, but like, I think I think Oklahoma City had a better team than Dallas this year. I know Oklahoma City's young and don't really have that much experience, but when you look at pure talent, who do you think has the better roster, Oklahoma City or Dallas? I take Oklahoma City's roster just off of pure talent, and Dallas still won that series. I'm just saying. All right. Let me see here. Let me see what everyone's saying here. Breaking the 2024-25 NBA season will mark the last. Let me read that again. Breaking the 24-25 NBA season will mark the final run for TNT's Inside the NBA featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley, as they're going to move off to NBC after next season. So yeah, man, this is the last next season, guys. It's gonna be the Inside the NBA farewell tour. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be the last year for Inside the NBA before they go off to NBC. I don't know, man. I mean, Inside the NBA has been a great show for a long time. Yeah, after next season, it's it, bro. Because that's what the thing said. So they're gonna have one last season next year, and then no more TNT. They're gonna be on NBC. I tweeted something earlier. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or not. I think I'll read you my if you guys want to follow me on Twitter. Let me read it to y'all real quick. It is and hooping news updates. Follow me on Twitter. I tweeted something earlier today, talking about they should get the NBA should get rid of Vegas. I mean, the NBA should get rid of ESPN and get rid of and keep TNT and NBC, because ESPN's the absolute worst, bro. I hate ESPN. I hate ESPN. I hate ESPN with a fucking passion, because it's all agendas. Literally, it ain't about talking about the games anymore. It ain't talking about like breaking shit down. It's all about just spreading bullshit narratives, spreading narratives, debates. I mean, like, I don't like ESPN, man, and their commentators suck. The worst thing they ever did was getting rid of Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. That duo was good. They for some reason they shook it up. Now we're stuck with fucking Doris Burke. bro. Doris Burke and JJ Redick, bro. Horrible. 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 I hate it. The fact that the Celtics play on fucking TNT, I mean the fact that the Celtics play on fucking ESPN, not TNT, makes me sick. And I'm like half joking, but it makes me sick. And I gotta listen to ESPN. I gotta listen to Stephen A. Smith on the halftime show, and I gotta listen to Doris Burke and JJ Redick on commentary. Ugh, I hate it. It's all ESPN do. All ESPN does is spread narratives and lies. That's all they do. At least TNT ain't about narratives and shit on TNT. They actually break the games down. I mean, I like that. And they're entertaining too. ESPN has zero entertainment, and all they want to do is just try to make bullshit narratives. So as far as I'm concerned, the NBA should drop ESPN and put it on NBC and TNT. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. You said Burke clears Jackson. Okay. Burke does not clear Gundy, bro. Like I could get with you about Mark Jackson, but Jeff Van Gundy was good, man. And you know what? Jeff Van Gundy was like the only guy on ESPN that had the balls to call out the referees and shit. I mean, Jeff Van Gundy fucking actually called bullshit out that he was seeing on the court. You know, ESPN, them guys are afraid. Them guys are afraid to actually call shit out because, the NBA will yell at him for criticizing the refs. At least Jeff Van Gundy, what I like about him is he spoke his mind. That's what I like about him. Could he have been a little over the top sometimes? Sure. But he at least spoke his mind and actually called out the blatant bullshit that he was seeing on the court from referees. You don't have it anymore in the commentary booth. Yeah. JJ Redick probably going to be going to the Lakers. Yep. By the way, they said JJ Redick could be the next Pat Riley. I mean, I'm not going to judge JJ Redick because, like, he's never coached before, but, like, to say that he's the next Pat Riley without even, like, seeing him coach one game or one practice or one scrimmage? Really? JJ Redick don't have any coaching experience anywhere else. Like, to say that, that's nuts. I seen that, man. That was wild, saying that he's going to be the next Pat Riley. Those are monster shoes to fill. That's all I'm gonna say. Rock for life. There's dude. The difference between coaching an AAU team and coaching an NBA team is the size of the fucking Grand Canyon. Like, do you know how fucking big of a difference that is? Like, bro, you're coaching like high school kids. You're coaching grown men in the NBA. That's, dude. I don't see it working. I think it's going to be a disaster. I really do. I think for JJ Redick should be an assistant coach. He should be an assistant, be on a coaching staff for a year, and actually learn how to be a head coach. You know what I mean? And now he has no experienced coaching veteran players in the league. Zero. Yeah, it might be worse than Darvinham. Yeah, rock for life. It really should be Mark Jackson, to be honest with you. The fact that these teams won't even give Mark Jackson an interview. I think that's crazy. But I know why. It's because of his I think it's a lot of it has to do with his religious beliefs. I mean, I think because I read something, it was a couple years ago, I read an article saying a big reason why the Warriors fired him is because his religious beliefs rubbed a lot of the people in the Warriors organization the wrong way, and that's why he was fired. That ain't opinionated. That's actually factual shit that came out about that situation, about him getting fired. So I think that has a lot to do with it, but religion should have absolutely nothing to do with winning basketball games. I mean, do you win games or not? That should be the bottom line. It shouldn't be nothing to do with anything else. Is this coach good enough to win us basketball games? Yes or no? And they let this little petty political nonsense bullshit get in the way. I mean, I see it happen all the time in sports. Darwin, can you imagine a JJ Redick ex LeBron collab coaching at the Lakers? That's what it would be, but it would be NBA J. It would be 90% LeBron, 10% JJ Redick. That's what it would be. Because like it's hilarious. It's so hilarious when people try to say, "Oh, LeBron's not really coaching the team." Really, really? You expect me to believe that? You expect me to believe that LeBron's not coaching the Lakers? Really? Ain't no like reasonable like people actually use their brain and actually believe in that. Stop it. Shaq and Draymond had an interesting debate. They're talking about Draymond Green says if championship Warriors were to play Shaq's Lakers, he would not allow Shaq to get the ball. Shaq quote, who's guarding Kobe, Clay. Yo, you should have seen you should have seen Shaq's face when Draymond said that Clay would guard Kobe. It was priceless. Hilarious. Fudging hilarious. Chris Paul joining the Lakers, a real possibility. What's that going to do for the Lakers? I ain't going to do none. I ain't going to do none. The 65-year-old Chris Paul, really? I ain't moving no needle. That moved the needle for the Warriors last year. They missed the playoffs. Really? Chris Paul. Lakers. Really? And I ain't moving anyone, bro. I ain't doing nothing. Someone said the Lakers are a retirement home. Might as well. Chris Paul ain't doing a damn thing for that team. Chris Paul ain't doing a damn thing for that team. That'd be such a bad move. Plus, LeBron and Chris Paul can't really play together. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, let me talk about this Lamelo Ball thing a little bit, right? Because I think what I think it stems from lack of accountability in the Hornets organization. You know what I mean? Because Lamelo Ball allegedly drove over 11-year-old Angel Joseph foot and breaking it and ignored his request for an autograph. Let me say this. I think it all stems from MJ because there's been so much bad shit that happened in the Hornets franchise. I look at the lack of accountability. I think there's a lack of accountability with the Hornets. I think that's why a lot of players do dumb shit. I don't think there's anyone in that organization holding anyone accountable. I think that's a problem. I'm going to wrap this up soon. Yeah. Let's see what else I can talk about. No, I think that's it. I think I pretty much covered everything I needed to cover. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll be back in a few days. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe. Hold up. We got one more comment. The Lakers will bring in a veteran PG to mentor Bronny. Hey, Board, you made it just in time. All right, Board. Since you came in, I'll stay for a little bit. You came in just in time. I mean, I was really about to shut the stream down. I was like this close. I was literally this close to just shutting the stream down. You did come in time. You did. You came in just in time. That was clutch. What topics have I covered? Oh man, we covered my favorite topic that I covered, I'll just tell you right off the bat. The Ringer came out with a top 25 young 25 and under list, and I ripped it to shreds. I mean, I could do that again for you if you want me to. I could read you the list. But besides that, I don't know, man. I covered the Celtics Pacers. I covered that game, and I covered tonight's game between the Mavericks and Wolves, and then just some other shit. I mean, but that was basically it. The big three things I covered was that list that the Ringer made, which was disgusting and just horrible. And then that I discussed rumors. I haven't really dived into too many rumors, but I can get into some. I mean, I did cover the Chris Paul Laker rumor a little bit and laughed at the Lakers for wanting to sign a 65-year-old Chris Paul. Like, what the fuck's that gonna do? I ain't gonna do shit. But I'm gonna read. Here, boards. I'll do this for you, man. I'll read you that top 10 that the Ringer came out with, and I'll read you that. Okay, so this is they. Okay, so this is the top 10. Their top 10 players in order. What they think of the 25 and under players. Because I had a huge problem with this list. I'm gonna go 10 to 1. I mean, I'm not gonna go 1 to 10. I'm gonna go 10 to 1. So number 10, Zion / Ja Morant. We'll get to that because that's where I have a huge problem with. Paolo Banchero at 9, Jalen Williams at 8, Chet Holmgren at 7, Tyrese Maxey at 6, Tyrese Halliburton at 5, Luka at 4, SGA at 3, Ant-Man at 2, and Wembanyama at 1. There's so many problems I got with this list. There's so many problems I got with this list. I covered it earlier, but I'm going to cover it again because it's this bad. How do you have Paolo Banchero, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Tyrese Maxey over Ja Morant? That's the first problem I got. And listen, missing a year of basketball really makes people forget how good you are. People forget how fucking good Ja Morant is. Like, I'm dead serious, bro. Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Tyrese Maxey are not better than Ja Morant. Ja Morant fully healthy and on the court is a top 10 player in the NBA. Like, I don't want to hear that. It's a load of bullshit. All right. And then Anthony Edwards being at number 2, right? And then you got Wemby at 1. Listen, I love Wemby. I think he'll be number 1. I think one day he'll definitely be number 1 on this list for sure. But now? Okay. So what this means is you're telling me this season, when the Spurs lost 60 games damn near, that Wemby was better than Anthony Edwards, SGA, Luka, Zion, Ja Morant. You're telling me Wemby was better than them guys this year? I disagree with that. I disagree. I just don't like. I just don't like. And you're right. You said recency bias. It is recency bias because what in the world? You have Paolo Banchero. I like Paolo. Paolo's good. Jalen Williams. I like him too. I think he's really good. Chet Holmgren. I think Chet Holmgren's going to be a stud. Tyrese Maxey. Really good. Tyrese Halliburton. Really good. Ja Morant is better than all them players. Ja Morant is right there with Luka, SGA, and Anthony Edwards. He's in that tier. And you got him at 10. Come on now. Come on now. Did I see what? Man. Bill Spurs top 4. Are you kidding me? He really said that. If Bill Simmons actually said that, bro, that's wild. That's wild. And can we at least see if the Spurs do this offseason? Shit, maybe in 2 months, maybe. Oh yeah, well, if the Spurs add some players to their roster, oh yeah, top 4 already. I think playing tournament. I think they'll definitely be a playing team. I could see them being a playing team, but like a top four team in the West, the Western Conference, where you got Denver, you got Minnesota now, you got Dallas now. If the Clippers run it back, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, but who knows what the Clippers are going to be next year? You got that, right? We'll see what Phoenix does. We'll see what moves Memphis makes. I mean, because I think a lot of people forget how good Memphis was. You know what I mean, the top four. That's hilarious if Hawks fans think that, boards, because literally every report has said it. No one really wants Trey Young. That's literally every report saying, "Oh, we don't want Trey Young. We prefer Darius Garland over Trey Young." Hey, hey. I mean, that's what the reports are saying. But if Hawks fans actually believe that, that's wild. Because every report is totally opposite. That, Trey Young is a small guard with a lot of defensive struggles. Yeah, and he's a hard guy to build around because of his limitations that he has. Yeah. Gotta give love to Grizzlies Kenneth Floten. I mean, I'm gonna take your word for it, but I don't really know that much about him. I didn't really. Grizzlies were injured last year, so I hardly watched them last year. I don't know too much about that guy, NBA J. Oh, he's not even on the team. I didn't really pay that much attention to Memphis last year. I didn't, so I don't know. I have no idea. Um, let's talk about some rumors. Yeah, let's chat about some rumors, man. Let's see what's being floated out there. Paul George, yeah, I seen some stuff about Paul George, NBA J. There's conflicted rumors about him. There's some people saying that he's going to resign with the Clippers. The Clippers feel confident that they're going to, you know, that they're going to be able to re-sign him. And then there's reports out from Kevin O'Connor that Philadelphia feels really confident they're going to land Paul George. So we'll have to see. Here's my guess: if I'm Paul George, I think I would leave the Clippers because I think Clippers' future is very bleak. But players love living in LA. I think at the end of the day, Paul George might decide to stay with the Clippers just so he can live in LA. But we'll have to see how it plays out. But I also go back to the fact that the Clippers talked about trading Paul George at the trade deadline last February. So I think there's a real shot that he leaves the Clippers and goes to Philadelphia. So yeah, there's some smoke around Paul George to Philadelphia for sure. And then you said the Magic are interested in D'Lo and Houston's interested in D. Mitch. D'Lo and the Orlando Magic. Meh. It's meh. Eh. Would he give him a scoring punch? Yeah, but eh. I think Orlando can do better than D'Lo. And then Houston with Mitchell. I, I could see that. I mean, if Mitchell doesn't sign a contract, I could see that. I think Houston be a good spot. Now, what would Houston have to trade to get Mitchell? I think Cleveland would have, I think see, it depends on Mitchell though. You know what I mean? Because if Mitchell doesn't sign the contract and he wants out, Mitchell can dictate where he goes because they only got 1 year left on his deal. So if Mitchell says, "Okay, I want to go to this team," and Houston's not one of them, if you're Houston, then all of a sudden you're not inclined to give up that much for Mitchell. You'll still make a trade off for Mitchell, but you won't offer a lot. So I think a lot of it depends on what Mitchell wants. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think if Houston got Mitchell, I think that'd be a fascinating thing. But I would hate how small that backcourt would be with Van Vliet and Mitchell. I don't like that. I don't like that backcourt. I think that backcourt's too small and bad defensively. I think if you get Mitchell, Van Vliet would have to be in that deal, or they would have to flip Van Vliet to another team. I agree with the criticism of bro. Every stream, I'm telling you guys, the referees suck. Every fucking stream. I even made a video talking about how I think the NBA is corrupt and rigged somewhat. The referees, you can't tell me the referees are this bad, like on purpose. Like, there's no fucking way that the referees are this bad. They gotta have something behind it. You know what I mean? Like there's some fishy about it, right? Come on, man. And I love the NBA and I love watching the NBA. The NBA, it's a little rigged. It's come on. It's a tad bit rigged. Guys, remember, the NBA is entertainment. It's entertainment business. You know what I mean? NBA, NFL, hockey, soccer, whatever sport, there's entertainment involved in these leagues. Especially with gambling, being involved with Vegas and shit, man. Like I've been saying it for a couple years now that I thought the NBA was a little rigged. Yeah, boards. I'm seeing people cry about the refs, but you're right. Indiana gave that game away. They gave that game away. They have no one to blame but themselves for losing that game. I mean, they handed that game to the Celtics. When the Celtics, and I was frustrated as hell even after we won that game because I was pissed because I was like, there's no way hell we could play that bad again. The Celtics were trying to give that game to Indiana. They were doing everything they could for Indiana to win that game. And Indiana said, no, we don't want to win. We don't want to win this game. I mean, like Rick Carlisle, Siakam turned it over. Like they weren't trying to win that game, bro, at the end. I mean, and it cost them. I think they're playing scared at the end of the game. I really did. But the refs, I mean, has all the gambling influence that the NBA has enabled recently? Yes, it has, NBAJ. It has. Dude, it has. Because, like, okay. I think the Celtics were favored by 9.5 yesterday. Like, that's the line that I seen. They're favored by 9.5. And most of the money, because I looked at stats and shit before every game. Like, what is the majority of money on for these games? Spread and money line. We'll just go with that. Most of the money was on Celtics minus 9.5. All right. And then the money line, because it was a massive money line, so some people were sprinkling a little bit of Indiana money line. So, how do you solve that problem? Don't have the Celtics cover the spread, and don't have Indiana win the game. So we don't pay out that many people. Simple math. So let's fix it and let's find a middle ground where, yeah, the Celtics win the game, but Indiana keeps it close and the Celtics don't cover the 9.5. So I think there's a little give and take. I definitely think the referees are in the back pocket of Adam Silver in Vegas because the referees are pawns. They're pawns in this game. The guy that we should be all criticizing is Adam Silver. That's the guy that everyone needs to be targeting because either you have hired the worst referees in America that don't know what in the fuck they're doing, or you have strings on them behind the scenes and you're dictating like who wins and loses these games and like who covers the spread and shit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these calls don't make sense. A lot of fouls that I see in certain points of games and shit like that. It smells fishy. Should he NBA? Yeah, I mean like if he wants to make the league less corrupt and less rigged, sure. You can pull the plug on gambling, sure. But it's been going on for like 20 years because David Stern was doing the same shit with the refs. it is looking like a lot. It is WWE, bro. That's why everyone says, "Oh, how do you watch wrestling? It's fake." Here's my counter response to that when people ask me that. Do you watch the NBA? Do you watch the NFL? You're telling me that shit ain't rigged either? You're telling me those outcomes ain't predetermined to some degree? Now, again, I'm not saying the players go out there and intentionally miss shots or miss free throws or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But like the referees do play a huge part in deciding who wins and loses a game. You know what I mean? So WWE though, yeah, there's a lot like WWE. Another thing too, and then I had a couple smart ass people the other day. They're like, "Oh, you watch wrestling? Why do you watch that bullshit? It's fake." I'm like, "You guys like movies?" Yeah, I like movies. Movies are fake. And their mouth just dropped. They're like, "Oh, we never thought of it like that." I'm like, "No shit, you've never thought of it. You never thought of it like that." You know what I mean? I'm like, man, before you call something fake, be like, okay, y'all love movies. You guys are passionate about movies. You think movies are real? Movies ain't real. They're fake. Okay, so you said it's heartbreaking to watch all the talent and skill. It's heartbreaking to watch all the talent and skill just get ruined by awful refs. Is there one particular rule that you would change or get rid of? That's a good question. NBA. What is one rule that I would get rid of in the NBA or change? I gotta think about that for a second because one of the things I disagree with, I wouldn't get rid of it or change it. I would modify the challenge rule because I read some stuff where you can't challenge like certain. See, you should be able to challenge for anything on the court. That's why I look at it. And when you win a challenge, right? If you win your second challenge, and this happened to the Lakers in Game 5 against Denver, I believe. Boards, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Lakers win a challenge, but they lost their timeout or something like that? And then they didn't have a timeout to call at the end of the game. So like something like that. Like if you win a challenge, like you shouldn't lose your timeout. You know what I mean? Like because I think that's what it is. I think if you win one challenge, then you get to keep the other challenge, but you still lose a timeout. And if you win the second challenge, you still get to keep a timeout, or you lose your timeout. That's one thing I would change. I mean, like I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. Again, Draymond and Nurkic hate each other. That's a funny beef between Nurkic and Draymond. Yeah, I covered everything, man. I really believe I've covered everything. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back on here in a few, guys. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. What you guys think about this, man? Yeah, man. Enjoy the game tonight, and I'll be back on here on Friday. Yeah, probably Friday. Yeah. All right. I'm not doing that. No. 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 No.